Hi and welcome to the channel. Look, I've been searching for the perfect foil setup for me across all disciplines, and I think I might have found it. If you want to know why that is and why I think you should try it too, we'll stick around and we'll answer those questions. Like with always, please can you like and subscribe? Really helps me grow, develop and make more content like this. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so my first reason is all about the performance that these foils provide. The efficiency and pumpability of these foils is next level, and you notice that the moment you get onto them. Even in the S series, which is a more surf-orientated turning foil, they pump incredibly well. Now, being efficient and being able to pump is one thing, but then being able to turn them at the same time is what separates the Code foils apart from everything else that I've used so far. Even if you do push it too far, or indeed you make a mistake, the recoverability of these foils across the range is another reason why I've fallen in love with them. I found there is this unique synergy between performance and user friendliness, which is allowing me to progress my foiling in a direction that I haven't been able to before. I find it incredible that they've produced a foil that somebody could learn on, and that same foil you could still take out and really push it as an intermediate advanced rider. And don't just take my word for it. If you've got a friend that's got Code gear, jump on theirs, go for a run, go to your local dealer, try a demo. The feeling is almost instantaneous of this efficiency, being able to pump and user friendliness in one package. It's why they've got such a good reputation, which is growing, and it's the reason why I moved over to Code. The second reason I've fallen in love with Code is not only their range, but how useful that range is. Now, this range covers 45 knots with big 6-meter swells, all the way down to flat water paddle ups and your sub 10 knot downwind runs and tiny little bumps. But the bit that's unique about them is you get the performance across the range. There's no compromise there. It's a very targeted range that's staged across all the conditions and disciplines. You certainly won't be wanting for more. So with that in mind, what I thought I'd do is tell you what I've ordered for each different discipline so that you can compare and contrast. So for power winging, I'm going for the 850S. It allows me to do really steep turns within the really short period swells. And then the 770 and the 860R for the bigger swells and for more glide. For winging, it's all about the S series for me. So the 850 again, and then the 720. For prone, well, really, I want to turn and I want to pump. So again, this is all about the S series. So if it's really small, the 1130, that's incredible. It just gives you glide and pump for ages. And then for when it gets a little bit steeper, again, back onto the 850S. So for downwinding with the SUP, I'm going to have a bit more of a range here because it's much more condition based. So for light winds, I'm going for the 1075R, the 860R and the 770R. And then for bay runs, when it's a bit more shorter chop, I'll be jumping on the 1130S. So you can see that setup covers me across all conditions and all the disciplines that I do, allowing me to get onto the water for whatever's good for the day. So the next thing I want to talk about is the build quality and the fittings that Code have gone for. So the first thing you'll notice is that all of the front wings have a connection to half the fuse. This is the best of both worlds between just a separate front wing and a full monoblock system. So the advantages of having a front wing that you can separate from the fuse is that it is easy to transport and travel with. The disadvantage of having this system is that you can have a potential point of failure, and also it's less efficient. There is a little bit more drag there. On the other side of the fence, the full monoblock system is super efficient, stiff and solid, but you do have issues with traveling. So the Code system is this happy medium between the two where you almost have the best of both worlds, and I absolutely love that. The connection from the mast to the front wing is like a tuttle box system where it locks into place. The two screws at the top are there just to locate it. It is a rock solid system that doesn't have any play whatsoever. The fuselage is connected to the front wing using this locator ledge. It just fits in perfectly. And then the thing I love about it most is when you turn the foil upside down to change anything, all of the screws are on the top, so there's no going backwards and forwards and turning it upside down. It's incredibly well thought out. The manufacturing process is second to none, and it's standard across the range. So the next point I want to talk about is market intelligence. And what I mean by this is that they listen to the needs of the consumer and then produce accordingly. They keep up with the trends and what's really popular right now, and they produce it at a really quick rate. Now, I understand that it's really challenging to do this with a big brand, but Code is able to react to the market and produce quality products at a really quick pace. Now, the reason why Code is so good at doing this is their designers, their developers, their testers, and their marketeers are all the same people. They have a really sound understanding of what we need, and they're able to produce that really quickly. Now, what I find the most impressive of this system is that it's not only very quick, but the quality is next level. And I just put that down to the amount of R&D and testing that goes on behind the scenes in real world conditions. It's almost as if they've taken the best bits from all the different brands, put it into one package, tweaked it, and then given it to the consumer in a timely manner. This is a winning formula, and it's the reason why I love the product so much. And then lastly, it's the Code team themselves. Look, it's got a real family feel about the company, almost like a community within itself. People are very passionate about it, and you can see why. Essentially, it started with a group of foilers who were very talented that wanted to produce foils for themselves, and then it's grown to what it is today. Now, obviously, this may be insignificant to some people when they're making their foil choice, but for me personally, I think there's a lot of weight and value in it. I believe in the product as much as I do the team behind it, and I want to support that as much as possible because I know that they're going to push our sport in the right direction. So there you go. That's the reason why I've fallen in love with Code foils and the reason why I'm going to be using them going forward. So if you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to type them in below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. All right, see you on the water again soon.